Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Mr. Briscoe.
Okay, 25 CR 883 is called the State of Texas versus Alex Briscoe. You are Alex Briscoe.
Yes.
You were present with your attorney, Mr. Adams. You've been indicted with the second-degree felony of aggravated assault, which carries with it up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. But it doesn't end there. You have a prior conviction out of Harris County in 2019 for being a felon in possession of a firearm. If all of this is true, it bumps your punishment range to a first-degree felony, which means you're looking at no less than 5 nor more than life imprisonment on this case. If it were me, I'd consider it real important. What are you doing today?
To move it to the announcement, this is initial appearance. But I have given his indictment in police before.
Do I?
Said I have given him his indictment and the probable cause application. He has all that.
All right. State, who is on this one, please? It looks like Mr. Laird.
Yes.
What is his bond here, please? You've already been convicted of 2 other felonies. Then you've got a felon in possession of a firearm conviction in 19. Then here, I'm looking at the facts on this case, and there was a firearm used in this case. What's his bond?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't want you.
$35,000.
You're going to have you're at home confinement. I don't want you leaving your home. And you have to have a GPS device so I know where you are at all times. You understand? You don't like it? You don't like it? Tough. You are a danger. This is the 3rd time you've messed with a felony. And you think it's other people's fault? You're going to be at home confinement. Do you work somewhere?
No, sir.
You don't? Well, okay. Then you don't have to be going to work. Who lives with you at the house?
Got my kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, who supports the family?
My girl.
Who does? Your wife?
Sir, I just got back.
What, your wife supports the family?
Yes, sir, but I just.
What does she do for a living?
She worked. I just came back.
What does she do for a living, sir?
She's a general manager, so I just lost my job.
Okay. Well, you can go out and look for jobs, but you've got to stay on home confinement. You can go find a job, and you have to go to and from the job location in the most direct route. I got a lot of people who are on the same type of conditions, and they are doing just fine and making a living. So don't say you can't do it unless you don't want to. But that's your condition. You are dangerous. I'm looking at the circumstances on this case. I don't want you ambling about without me making sure I know where you are at all times. You understand, sir?
So
You've got 48 hours to get that done. All right.
Can I ask you something? You said it's three of them.
You have a conviction of being a felon in possession of a firearm in 2019, which means you had a felony
No, sir,
before that.
I was with somebody else, sir. It was 2 guns in the car. They took out running. So
A felon in possession of a firearm.
Yes, sir.
That means you had to have had a felony. I mean, that's.
You did a jury trial on the felon in possession. He got a guilty verdict, and they sentenced him 2 years.
Okay. He wasn't eligible for probation. That means you got a felony conviction.
Yeah, he's got state jail.
A state jail. Okay. What were you trying to tell me? That wasn't right at all, what you just told me.
No,
And you
sir,
know
that's-
more about your life than
That's
you
what-
have a state jail felony conviction. That's a felony.
Sir, I was already a felon. I was already a felon, but the guy who I was with that took out running, that's what made it a felon in possession of a firearm.
I'm sorry,
because
the
it was
jury
2
thought
guns.
otherwise. They convicted.
Yes, sir. It was beat at first, but it was dead but they came back.
The jury, well, we have to follow the jury's verdict unless you appealed it and you didn't. And now we've got this situation. But you can go to and from work, to and from to get food, and to and from church. And we need to know where you are at all times, though, because I don't want you ambling about because you misuse firearms. What do you want to do next?
Just announcement, Judge.
Okay.
I'll give you
4 weeks. Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please get a reset. Thank you. God bless you.
Are you Zachary Odom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Odom, did you receive a copy of the complaint that was filed in this case?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want the state to read that complaint out loud, or do you want to waive the reading of that complaint in court?
I could just waive it, please, and thank you.
All right. I do still want to go through the complaint with you and make you aware of the charges as well as the penalty provisions for those charges. In count one, you have been charged with murder in the second degree. The penalty range is a minimum of 109 months to a maximum of 493 months in prison and or a fine up to $300,000 and 36 months of post-release supervision. In count two, you've been charged with leaving the scene of a fatality accident, which is a severity level 4-person felony. The penalty provision is a minimum of 31 months to a maximum of 136 months in prison and or a fine up to $300,000 and 24 months of post-release supervision. In count three, you've been charged with aggravated battery while driving under the influence. That is a level 8-person felony. Penalty range for that is a minimum of 7 months to a maximum of 23 months in prison and or a fine up to $100,000 and 12 months of post-release supervision. Count four is aggravated battery while driving under the influence. Again, a level 8-person felony with the same penalty range. Count five is interference with law enforcement. That is a severity level 9 non-person felony. Penalty range is a minimum of 5 months to a maximum of 17 months in prison and or a fine up to $100,000 and 12 months of post-release supervision. Count six is no proof of motor vehicle liability insurance coverage. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Penalty range is up to 6 months in jail and or a minimum fine of $300 or a maximum of $1,000. Count seven is improper driving on a laned roadway. That is a traffic infraction punishable by a fine not to exceed $500. Okay. Do you understand the penalty ranges for those offenses, sir?
Yes.
All right. And you are interested in applying for court-appointed counsel in your case, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. I'm going to approve your application. I'm going to appoint Brandon Smith to represent you in this case. I'm going to set your matter for a hearing on your next hearing on October 29th at 2 p.m. And that'll be in Division 2. And then do the parties want to be heard on bond for Mr. Odom's case?
Yes, Your Honor. And just for purposes of the record, the state appears by Senior Assistant District Attorney David Melton, and defendant appears via video in custody pro se. Your Honor, the state's requesting bond in this matter be set in the amount of $500,000 cash surety. The state believes that the defendant poses an extreme danger to the public at large. Trooper Riles, the lead investigator in this case, is present in the courtroom and available to address any concerns that the court may have. But Trooper Riles has advised me that the defendant has replaced the car that was destroyed when this incident took place, is back to driving, including driving to the methadone clinic. Because of that fact, and of course, allegations, as the court's aware from reading the affidavit, are that Mr. Odom drove his vehicle back to his home in Topeka, or intended to drive it back home to Topeka after receiving a methadone shot here in Lawrence. He, despite knowing the fact that the methadone starts taking effect approximately 30 minutes after he receives the shot, stopped off at a Dillon's. And so by the time the collision occurred, it was past that approximate 30 minutes. Blood tests showed that He did have, as well as methadone in his system, amphetamine and methamphetamine. There was no good reason for this to have occurred. He crossed the center line on Highway 40, hit one car, and then hit the second car head on, killing the driver. By some miracle, the passenger in that second vehicle was not badly injured. But the state does believe that he continues to be an extreme danger to the public and to everybody on the roadways. In addition, the state's not sure what his contacts are with this community. I haven't seen the pretrial report, but as far as the state's aware, he's still living in Shawnee County and traveling back and forth. So for those reasons, Judge, the state would ask for the $500,000 cash surety bond. The state would also ask that it be a condition of bond, should he make it, that he not drive.
All right, Mr. Odom, this is your opportunity to tell me anything that you want to say in regards to the bond that will be set in your case. I'm sure you heard that the state is requesting a $500,000 cash or surety bond with a condition that you not drive. So is there anything that you want to say?
Yeah, so there is, well, first of all, I have just recently gained employment so I could, better be a part of the community. And I am going to be no longer being on methadone. And as far as the crash, I feel absolutely horrible about it. I wish it didn't happen.
Well, sir,
And,
I don't want to, sir, I don't want to get
basically-
into anything related
basically,
to
the reason
the
that
case.
I think that I should be given a little bit of a lower bond amount, maybe like 100,000 or 50,000, because I don't live in Topeka no longer. I live in between Topeka and Lawrence with my parents, and I do have a history of substance abuse. However, I'm no longer going to be having that because I'm going to have extensive like monitoring in that area from my counselors if I was able to be released today or able to make bond today, that is. And I just want to make it apparent how incredibly sorry that I am, and that whether or not you guys choose to allow me to drive or not, I just still will not drive myself. I will not drive any longer until everyone seems is appropriate.
All right, sir.
And I'm not a bad guy. I just, I had one bad thing happen, and like I said, I do apologize about that.
All right. Well, sir, I'm inclined to follow the recommendations of the state as to the bond at this time, based on the reasons that were outlined. So your bond will be set in the amount of $500,000 cash or surety. Conditions of bond will be that you not drive, and if you make that bond, you will be placed on enhanced maximum monitoring as part of a pretrial monitoring order. Obviously, when you have counsel involved in the case, if counsel wants to revisit your bond at some point, maybe even on that October 29th, that would be fine. But for now, the bond will be set at $500,000 cash or surety, sir. Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.